Well, it's wonderful to be with you. I am the founder and CEO of New Way Capital and Prospera. I am honored and privileged to be accompanied in this amazing endeavor by my co-founders, Joe Bongar and Gabe Delgado, who add to our venture a tremendous amount of experience, both in the world of entrepreneurship, doing business in the regions that we're in, and actually the world of politics. Also, my general counsel, Nick Drainez, who's sort of my Steve Wozniak in this adventure, amazing litigator, constitutional scholar, and just amazing to be along. And of course, a broad team without whom what we're doing could not be possible. Thank you guys. So why Prospera? Why does Prospera exist? For better and worse, governance is a base layer of modern civilization. Without good governance, everything that we've come to benefit from in modern era would not be possible. Everything from your iPhones to just the general base security that we enjoy in everyday living so that we can focus on the things that we're best at ultimately comes down to governance. Governance unleashes human potential, but it is also the largest industry in the world. It generates over $30 trillion a year in revenue and has the capacity to unlock at least $100 to $200 trillion a year in wealth, if only we could get it right. Now, deep reform of our governance institutions at a national level is nearly impossible. There's a number of reasons why. We won't get into them just now. But what is possible is that charter city level reform can transform countries, can transform regions, and by extension, can help us deliver the world we want to see in the future. All these examples, of which, of course, being in Singapore, we have a prime example to look at, share drastically better governance compared to their immediate surroundings. And as a result, they have a transformed after compared to their before. Such is the potential that if we could get a material amount of the world's governments to operate at a similar level of efficiency as Singapore has achieved, we could unlock at least another $150 trillion of wealth per year. And nobody can tell me that what Singapore has done is impossible, since we see it here in real life. So what Prospera has done is developed a business model, a platform, if you will, through which to deliver good governance as a service in partnership with nation states that are interested in unleashing the trapped potential of their populations anywhere in the world. We believe that every human being, under the right conditions, has unimaginable potential, regardless of where they come from, latitude in the world, language they speak, color of their skin. If we're given the right conditions over time, and in Singapore it only took about a generation and a half, over time, we can transform populations from poverty to prosperity, a world of stagnation to the world that we read about aspirationally with flying cars, extended living, and peace. I won't go into the details of how our governance platform actually works, but I will invite you to check online many articles written about a world-class platform that brings together the best of what the founding fathers of the US developed in its constitution, to crypto, and the best of what economists have put together for a taxing system and a regulatory platform. As a platform, Prospera endeavors to create a layer one approach to unleashing multiple cities around the world. We have one that we have started in Roatan in partnership with the government of Honduras. A second one is primed, but our long-term vision through New Way Capital is to create a transnational footprint, to reignite a sort of modern Hanseatic League of cities around the world that share a governance platform, unlocking tremendous potential and collaborating so as to deliver the core fundamentals of what good governance requires. Now, this is not just theory. We have launched our first city on a beautiful island of Roatan. If you haven't been, you definitely should go visit. Roatan is in the Western Caribbean, has direct daily flights to at least 2 major cities in the US that are internationally connected, Miami and Houston. While it is in the Caribbean, it is outside of the hurricane belt. It's beautiful, and it's in a tremendous uptrend compared and thanks to tourism. It's been a long journey. Depending on how you start to count, you can trace our efforts as early as 2005, when as still a student at university, we were writing about what the world could look like if only you could unleash the power of market forces, the profit motive, and entrepreneurialism to address the most critical need of what good governance represents. In this journey, we've gone not just from idea to getting MOUs, to seeing legislation passed and challenged, to enabling root access to a profoundly better legal and regulatory system, of course developing a master plan, and actually starting to build in reality the physical layer of our layer 2 governance platform. We have beautiful buildings that we started from scratch, literally in the jungle, that now house employees and entrepreneurs, robots building modular components of future buildings, towers that have mixed use for places to live, play, and work. And most recently, we were able to incorporate into our platform the acquisition of a world-class golf resort that enables us to host conferences and enable other layer 2 partners to come and do what they do best. In the midst of all this, and over the years, we've managed to push our KPIs, which we can measure in 2 core areas. Our real estate portfolio has gone up more than 5x in less than 3 years, as appraised by independent third parties. And as a proxy for the economic activity that we're unleashing within the jurisdiction, our tax and fee revenue has more than doubled year after year. Importantly, and very recently, we have partnered with Vitalia, who will be presenting shortly after me. They're our first strategic layer 2 partner on the platform. And through them, we have managed to achieve essentially product market fit. A power user base that has enabled and discovered how to leverage our governance platforms so as to unleash a tremendous amount of wealth creation, in their particular case, in the world of longevity. We've also had the privilege and the benefit of having to deal with issues that others are only thinking about just yet. Importantly, the issue of how do you hold firm to legal agreements that in our case are intended to live for at least 50 years, if not beyond, when the winds of politics change and individuals can sometimes irresponsibly attempt to change the conditions of those arrangements. This is like having to, thank you. This is perhaps like having to deal with a rocket that crashes. And it's heartbreaking sometimes, but then you realize that you're dealing with a rocket that flew and then crashed. But you're dealing with a rocket. So it's been a hell of a journey. Most recently, Honduras made a decision to challenge the arrangements that we have with them. And so now we have the opportunity to demonstrate to the world whether or not we're going to stand firm in rule of law internationally, whether private property matters, and whether or not governments are actually going to stay true to the vision of unleashing potential within their population. So stay tuned, we've only just begun. And in this QR, I want to invite you. We have an upcoming pop-up city with Vitalia, but also recurring events. Every weekend, in essence, we have a hosted long weekend on site where you can come, not just see the buildings, but interact with us. Talk about what it looks like to actually build the future we want to see tomorrow, today. What does it look like to unleash the potential of young as well as experienced entrepreneurs from all over the world? Some of them doing basic things like a scuba shop, others doing the most pioneering gene therapies, robotics technologies in one location, collaborating for our own sake and for the future of humanity here on Earth. So I hope to see you. Thank you very much.